If you want to know what fascism looks like, this is it. They're showing us every single day, especially in Florida. You may remember that the Department of Health down there was sending threatening letters to television stations, telling them that they would be criminally charged if they continued to run ads for Amendment 4, which is the pro-choice ballot measure in Florida. It turns out that was not an idea that was hatched by the Department of Health. It came directly from Ron DeSantis. The Department of Health lawyer who signed and sent those letters filed an affidavit yesterday, and I wrote about it in the newsletter, filed an affidavit swearing that Ron DeSantis' top deputies sent him a pre-written letter, and directed him to send it to media outlets. He ended up resigning a few days later because he didn't want to continue to be forced to threaten journalists, which is understandable. And I've got to tell you, threatening journalists is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the attacks on democracy in Florida. Ron DeSantis has also launched a bogus voter fraud investigation using, by the way, the same department of, I think it's called Election Crimes and Security, using the same department that he used to go after Black voters in 2022 and target and arrest Black voters, accusing them of voter fraud. That's the department he's using. And they're claiming that all of these signatures are invalid. They sent cops to voters' houses to interrogate them about their signatures, and now they're claiming that just over 16% of the signatures in support of getting Amendment 4 on the ballot were invalid, which coincidentally is just about the number they need to claim that Floridians Protecting Freedom did not meet the threshold to get abortion on the ballot. Sorry, my doorbell rang. But that's not even it. In addition to the threats against television stations, in addition to the bogus voter fraud investigation, DeSantis is spending millions of taxpayer dollars, illegally spending millions of taxpayer dollars, to run a campaign against Amendment 4. It is illegal for government officials to use the power of the state to try to influence the outcome of an election. But they got a conservative judge to sign off on it, to give them the okay, and to claim that it is their First Amendment right. And so they have a state agency putting out all of this dis and misinformation about Amendment 4 in an effort to keep voters from knowing the truth. Now, the ballots are printed. I cannot imagine a scenario in which they are not going to let voters have a say on Amendment 4 on Election Day, but they are going to use all of this stuff to try to stop the enforcement of Amendment 4 should it win. And it looks very likely that it will win, so that when it wins, they can say, this is not a valid, that wasn't a valid election, and so we don't need to restore abortion rights. And this isn't just happening in Florida. This is what I do for a living. I track abortion every day. That's what I do at my newsletter. In every single one of the 10 states where abortion is on the ballot, we are seeing attacks on democracy like this. We are seeing mis and disinformation campaigns. It is happening everywhere.